Herman Cain, a former presidential hopeful who was once considered by President Donald Trump for the Federal Reserve, has died after being hospitalized with the coronavirus. He was 74. Cain's death was announced Thursday on his website by Dan Calabrese, who edits the site and had previously written about his colleague's diagnosis. Cain was among the highest-profile public figures in the United States to have died from COVID-19. Cain had attended Trump's rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, less than 2 weeks before receiving his diagnosis. Herman Cain, a former presidential hopeful who was once considered by President Donald Trump for the Federal Reserve, has died after being hospitalized with the coronavirus. He was 74. Cain's death was announced Thursday on his website by Dan Calabrese, who edits the site and had previously written about his colleague's diagnosis. Herman Cain, our boss, our friend, like a father to so many of us, has passed away, Calabrese said in the blog post. We all prayed so hard every day. We knew the time would come when the Lord would call him home, but we really liked having him here with us, and we held out hope he'd have a full recovery. Cain was among the highest-profile public figures in the United States to have died from COVID-19. Less than 2 weeks before receiving his diagnosis, Cain attended Trump's campaign rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which had been staged despite concerns about mass gatherings during the pandemic. Cain, a stage 4 cancer survivor, tweeted a photograph of himself at Trump's rally showing him surrounded by other attendees, none of whom appeared to be wearing masks or other protective gear. July 2 statement from Cain's social media accounts announcing his hospitalization said, "There is no way of knowing for sure how or where Mr. Cain contracted the coronavirus." The Trump campaign said after Cain's diagnosis that he had not met with the president at the Tulsa rally. The campaign said that all attendees at the event had their temperatures checked upon entry, and that masks and hand sanitizer were handed out but not required to use. Before the event, the campaign revealed that 6 members of the team involved in the rally preparations had tested positive for the virus and had been quarantined. Trump later Thursday tweeted his condolences for Cain and his family. My friend Herman Cain, a powerful voice of freedom and all that is good, passed away this morning, the president wrote. Herman had an incredible career and was adored by everyone that ever met him, especially me. He was a very special man, an American patriot, and great friend. At a Thursday evening press briefing on the coronavirus pandemic, Trump added that Cain was a very special person. I got to know him very well. And unfortunately he passed away from a thing called the China virus. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany had earlier tweeted that Cain embodied the American dream and represented the very best of the American spirit. Cain had been hospitalized in Atlanta on July 1, 2 days after being told he had tested positive for COVID-19, according to his social media. He did not require a respirator and was awake and alert when he checked into the hospital, the statement said. Please join with us in praying for Mr. Cain, and for everyone who has contracted the coronavirus, as well as their families, it said. Cain had been a business executive and board chairman of a branch of Kansas City's Federal Reserve Bank before moving into Republican politics and eventually becoming a presidential candidate and a favorite of the conservative Tea Party faction. Last year, Trump briefly considered picking Cain as his nominee to join the Federal Reserve Board. Cain remained a vocal supporter of Trump's after his nomination was withdrawn. A former CEO of the restaurant chain Godfather's Pizza, Cain became a player in Republican politics as an economic advisor to Bob Dole's 1996 presidential campaign before briefly launching his own bid in 2000. In the 2012 GOP presidential primary season, Cain gained outsized media coverage with his catchy 999 economic plan to replace much of the federal tax code with a 9% business transactions tax, a 9% personal income tax and a 9% sales tax. Critics called the plan dubious and impractical. Senator Mitt Romney of Utah, who would clinch the GOP nomination in 2012, tweeted Thursday that he was saddened to hear of Cain's passing.